ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Okay, before I start, just one thing. This always it keeps coming to my mind. We should know Prabhupada Pranam Mantra properly. This I'm saying because I've seen many devotees, chanting the mantra wrongly. Please understand, it is Sanskrit. It has a meaning, so it has to be chanted properly. Otherwise, it will give some other meaning. So we have to understand it is Namaste Saraswate Deve. It is not Saraswati Devi. Okay, Saraswati Devi is Saraswati Devi, right? Like Narayanam Namaskritya. That is Saraswati Devi, right? This is Saraswate Deve. Saraswati Deve is basically giving connection to his Guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Right? Saraswati means of Saraswati. Right? So please chant this properly. At least, those who are hearing from me, I want some of these very basic things at least we should follow. Otherwise, we can't call ourselves. I mean, it's not Prabhupada would not be happy with this. Simply. Right, so it is Saraswate Deve, and it's there in the songbook. Wherever you search for Pranam Mantra, that is what it is. But unfortunately, devotees don't give too much attention to this Saraswati Devi, and they chant as Saraswati Devi. Yeah, so it will be totally something else. Okay, so we're continuing here. Teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 23. A scientist friend was asking me, what is the proof of eternity? Krishna says, Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. The soul is not killed when the body is killed. This statement in itself is proof. Hmm. This type of proof is called Shruti, the proof established by that which is heard through the disciplic succession from the Supreme. So again, we've discussed this multiple times, but this importance of disciplic succession it's very, very important, right? So we should not see what is the meaning of disciplic succession. Okay, let's have a 5-minute discussion about this. What is the meaning of disciplic succession? See, some of these things, it all are obvious things which we have known, which we have heard, etc., but which we are not actually fully understood. So that is the reason why some of these things I pick up so that at least devotees are conversant with what it actually means. What is disciplic succession?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, it means that whatever Krishna had said, if some some disciplic succession, like whichever Guru and Sishya parampara, it is going on, and as it is, whatever Krishna told, that is being repeated with the same context and meaning. Then that is actually a disciplic succession.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else want to add anything?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it's a chain, an unbroken chain, which starts from the present Guru to Lord Brahma. Like, and it is not broken, and which is continuous with whatever preaching is. And when it is broken, Lord Krishna came and he again refound us, and so it is connected.
Okay.
So it is connected.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not just till Brahma, that is only our sampradaya, but yeah, till Krishna, it has to get connected till Krishna. Yeah, it has to start from the present Guru and in an unbroken manner get connect. It has to go till Krishna. The connection should be there, right? Now, what does this actually mean? What does this connection actually mean? And we talked about unbroken and connection. What does this actually mean in practice? Like, for practical understanding, what does this unbroken connection actually mean?
Pranam Prabhuji.
Yeah,
It
Pranam.
is like the message is not distorted. The message is conveyed as it is from Lord
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
to the
Yeah. So now, yeah, we are going slightly deeper into the topic. Now, what does this message as it is mean?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, like what
Yeah.
I understand, like Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjun, but Arjun is nowhere in the discipline. Maybe like but the other acharyas have come. So like some can absorb, like the tree can have many branches. Some become very prominent and they continue flowering, and then from there again they teach, and again they come again. Then it continues with what has been taught. Like
Yeah.
even in the family, like we say, okay, the father, the grandfather, we try to trace. It's not a disciplic succession, of course, but
Yeah.
it's just a heritage.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
my question, just to be clear, is what does this message being handed over as it is mean? What does this message mean? What
so
what
it
what comprises of this message?
so the same thing is taught. It is not distorted, and it does not mushroom up with your own fancy idea of philosophies at the
Okay.
end.
Okay. Nice. And now, what is this same thing? So I'm asking, what does that
The
message comprise of?
the dharma and the Sanatan dharma and the philosophy surrender
Okay.
to the Lord, the teaching of Lord Krishna as
Okay.
it is.
Okay. 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 Anybody else wants to say anything?
Krishna says, surrender to me, like the last shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, like leave
Yeah.
everything and
Yeah.
ultimately surrender to me.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else wants to say anything?
See, Prabhu, like when
Our goal is love of God.
Love of God. Okay. Okay. See, okay, fine. So I think let me just slightly explain this a bit, right? See, the message, actually, there are two parts to this message. Um, uh, so which our acharyas generally, I mean, that's what acharyas give, right? One is prachar. Prachar means basically like what you're saying, like it is every sampradaya follows certain scriptures. Right, certain scriptures everybody follows. Like for example, if you go to Madhva Sampradaya, they follow Mahabharat. For them, Mahabharat is more critical or more important than anything else, for that matter, right? But for us, for our sampradaya, what was taught to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is basically it's Bhagavatam, and entry into Bhagavatam is through Bhagavad Gita, right? Now this is our sampradaya. This is the tattva. This is the tattva basis for our sampradaya, which means that our acharyas will only talk everything based on this. Based on this, the authority, the scriptural authority is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? This is one part. This is the prachar part. So which means that we also speak whatever acharyas have spoken on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? This is one part of it. Now there is another very important part of it. What is the other part of it? Anybody can think? Prachar, and then what comes with prachar?
आचार
आचार. आचार आचार हो जाएगा तो पिकल हो जाएगा. आचार. ओके. आचार का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of आचार? आचार basically means what we do, how we practice that philosophy. That is आचार. Okay. Practical application of this philosophy is आचार. Now, it seems like Sumandra Mataji was saying that, okay, Krishna is saying Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Now, what does this actually mean? That has to be shown in achar. That has to be shown in practice. Now, our acharyas actually have shown everything in practice. Now, and this achar is not at a 30,000 feet level. Please understand this. Acharyas don't come and speak at some 30,000 level and let their followers speculate about the details. They will not do that. So what they do is actually they go into each and every nitty-gritty detail of the achar. Please understand this. It's very, very important. And this nitty-gritty detail, continuation of that following that nitty-gritty detail is an integral part of the parampara. Is an integral part of the parampara. And we've seen in so many other paramparas where the details have been lost. And so actually today the practice is actually something totally different from what their philosophy is, or it doesn't completely align with their philosophy. Different sampradayas. This is one part. So what the point I'm trying to make here is that we cannot say we are following previous acharyas. Still, we actually get into nitty-gritties of practice achar, which means everything, right? Which means our sadhana, which means our, archana, whatever we are doing in terms of temple worship, in terms of how we are preaching, everything has to be in line with whatever acharyas have spoken. And nobody has the authority to break this unless he is himself a new acharya, right? Unless there is a new acharya. For example, see, Srila Prabhupada actually established so many things which were somewhat different from previous times because of the situation or circumstance in which he was preaching. That he could do because he is an acharya. An acharya has the right to do the time, place, circumstance, right? But unless the need is there, and when does Krishna send another acharya? When again the disciplic succession is broken. When it is broken, then he sends another acharya to re-establish, right? So we actually don't have the authority to break this achar or to speculate about this achar or to create some new practices in this achar. This is very, 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 very important. And this is where the dilution actually happens. So the dilution doesn't happen in tattva. Of course, dilution happens in tattva also, but very few people are sitting and speaking on Vyasasan, right? So hopefully, if those few people are in line with parampara, then at least the tattva will not be distorted. But there are high, very, very, very high chances of achar being distorted because it's not being given by one person, it's being given by literally everybody, right? Like simple thing, right? Today we are all, everybody's, so many of us are preaching, right? We have bhakti vrikshas, we have namata, we have all these centers, and so many devotees are in, they are being compassionate, merciful, giving their time, energy, specifically in this month, distributing books. I'm so happy. So many devotees, more than 40, 50 devotees have been actively engaged over the last, full weekend. 4 times people have gone out there distributing books. It's so amazing. Right. So we are doing all this with all the sincere intent to actually help out people. We are getting people into Krishna consciousness. We are helping them. We are teaching them everything. But in case we don't know what the practices are, then what does it result in? Delusion, right? And which means not that we are grossly broken, but today it looks like a subtle deviation. But in years to come, that subtle deviation will become a gross deviation and we will be somewhere else. We will be somewhere else. Right. So we have to be very, very serious. Actually, it's a very big responsibility on all our shoulders to actually maintain the integrity of this parampara. Okay, so this is one part. Now, the second part is about the, for example, how simple thing, for example, DT worship, right? And this is something that I've told multiple times before as well, that who are we, who should we worship? Whom are we expected to worship in our sampradaya? What is our goal? Who is our Aradhya Daiva, or what form we should actually be worshipping in ISKCON?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay.
Yeah. Radha Krishna.
Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna. Yeah, Radha Madhav, Radha Krishna. Yeah. Panchatattva. Okay. Narsimadev. Okay. Now I have a question for all of you, right? Now, yeah, this is what it is actually. This is the authorized, form of worship. What about Laddu Gopal?
So that is not in our sampradaya, Prabhuji.
That is not in our sampradaya. That is in which sampradaya? Vallabha sampradaya. Okay. Now how many of known devotees, I know so many devotees who are worshipping Laddu Gopal. What is it? Is it right, wrong, okay, not okay?
So it is a deviation, Prabhuji.
It is a deviation. Why is it a deviation?
because we are not following strictly our Sampradayas instructions.
And what will happen if we actually do Laddu Gopal worship?
So we will deviate. It may so happen that we may reach they means to other Sampradaya, or we may not reach anywhere in ours also and others also.
Okay. Anybody else wants to say anything?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I just want to counter question.
Yeah.
Isn't Laddu Gopal worship better than not worshipping any form of Krishna?
Yeah. So we'll come to that answer to that question.
Okay, sir. Sorry.
So no, it's okay. So, but my question is, what happens if you worship Laddu Gopal? For us,
Prabhuji,
yeah.
We might like we are in the bhava of conjugal love with Krishna as Radha Krishna worshipping. But if we worship Laddu Gopal, then it will be Vatsalya Rasa.
This is very, very important to understand. See, we are not, we're not at that stage, but our sampradaya is taking us towards Madhurya Rasa. Okay. Now, obviously, we don't know what our rasa is. Yes, we don't know. But we don't want to artificially induce a rasa into us, into ourselves, right? We don't want to push ourselves in a direction which we don't even know. Now, typically, yesterday I met somebody, at our center, and, family, they came and spoke to me and they said, somebody gave us this Laddu Gopal. Somebody gave us this Laddu Gopal. What should we do? So, see, the point is this, first of all, deities don't come like that. They're not bought from some shop and gifted, right? We should not do something like this. Deities come home after Guru blesses and gives permission for a disciple to actually worship. This is the actual process. The actual process, before somebody starts deity worship, they have to get permission, blessings from the Guru, and then they can start deity worship. Why? For the simple reason that there will be so many service seva aparat that will happen. And in one way, Guru is taking the responsibility, saying it's fine, do this. And he might even give instructions to say, this is how it has to be done. That is how it has to be done. Just 1 second. This is a very important call. Just 1 second. I'll just come back. 1 second. Yeah, sorry. So what will happen is that, we have to take permission and blessings. Guru might even give instructions saying that this is how we have to do, etc. And that needs to be followed. This is the normal process that is, that is generally followed. Of course, also Prabhupada very clearly, specifically for ISKCON, mentions that devotees should not do deity worship if they come to the temple. If they are in, area which is near a temple where deity worship is happening, Prabhupada very clearly said that individuals should not worship deities at their temple, at their house. Instead, they should give that same time commitment to actually serve the deities in the temple nicely. This has been generally Prabhupada's instructions in his books. Now, what form authorized from here? Jagannath is non-different from Krishna in separation, right, with Radharani. So, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadramai, Radha Krishna, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Narsimhadev. Narsimhadev mainly for protection of devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for so many reasons which all of you know. But our mood of worship is Radha Krishna, right? Why Radha Krishna? Because eventually we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we will cut ourselves off from potential Madhurya Rasa. So till we actually kind of realize what our rasa is, etc., which takes a long time, right, for us to get to that stage of perfection. Prabhupada and our previous acharyas have asked us to worship Radha Krishna because seems to be the most favorable form of worship, right, which will take us to our destination. Now, if we suppose don't follow this and follow something else, simple reason we don't have to discuss or argue or debate about this. It's not following Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Full stop. Now, if you want to reason and ask questions and logically try to answer, the reason which Sri Mataji gave is the most accurate one, which means somebody who's actually worshipping Laddu Gopal has to go into Vatsalya Rasa. There is no other way they can worship Laddu Gopal because he's a baby. Krishna is a baby. And Krishna has to be taken care very nicely like a child, 6 times offering, etc., etc. So it's a more difficult job in that way to take care of Laddu Gopal because he's a small child. He's dependent on his mother, right? Who is actually worshipping him. Right? When we are worshipping, that is a mood, and it's very difficult because nobody has so much time and attention to do all that. So it will result in like real challenges. Say a lot of seva aparadha happens, right? And we should understand what is the problem with seva aparadha. Anybody knows what happens if seva aparadha is not checked? Meaning, where is this seva? Okay, so maybe anybody who is new to Krishna consciousness, I'm going to like very deep discussion. Okay, no, it's fine. So how do we know whether something is a seva aparadha or not?
We lose taste in our bhajana.
Yes, we do taste. So, but how do we know whether seva aparadha, whether I'm doing any aparadha in seva or not? That is based on nectar of devotion, right? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami has detailed out seva aparadas. Of course, if you go into details, then we have to read Hari Bhakti Vilas, some aspects of it, etc., etc. But generally, Rupa Goswami gave us Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he's detailing out all the aparads, seva aparads, right? And like Anukul Prabhu said, if seva aparada is not checked, it results in nama aparad. If nama aparad continues, then one loses taste in bhajan, in chanting Hare Krishna, in their worship, etc. Simple, right? So seva aparada should not be ignored. We should not ignore seva aparad. And many a times, actually, devotees who are very closely engaged in deity worship, sometimes, they suddenly, over a period of time, they lose some, their intensity, etc. Obvious reason is there's some seva aparad happening. Right, so they might be thinking, oh, I'm so close, I'm so worshipping the deity so closely, etc. And that is the problem, right? If you're not worshipping properly, then it will result in us losing taste in Krishna consciousness. No, which is one right now. So which is why our acharyas have given us worship Pancharatrika Vidhi, which Srila Prabhupada has given us, is actually ideal for Radha Krishna worship. And even that has to be done with the utmost care. Right? Now, if we don't do all this, what will happen? Same thing, right? So first is if we will lose taste in our bhajana, then it will result in. So the sequence is like this: seva aparada, nama aparada, Vaishnava aparada. Simple. And Vaishnava aparada is, we know, right? Mad elephant. Right. So we have to be very careful that if we deviate even slightly from the disciplic succession in terms of both achar and prachar, very high chance that we will end up being nowhere. It's not about being somewhere. We will end up being nowhere. Right? For the simple reason that we'll be doing things in a wrong way, and that wrong way will result in us actually getting disconnected from Krishna consciousness over a period of time. It will not happen overnight. Okay. So our acharyas are actually protecting us by giving us all these various instructions, detailed instructions, saying that, please follow this, you will protect yourself. But if we think that we are so intelligent, so smart, so whatever, strong in Krishna consciousness that I can do anything and everything and get away with it, sorry, we are in illusion. Maya is very, very strong. So this disciplic succession should not be ignored, and we cannot do simply lip service to disciplic succession. Lip service means simply saying, I am part of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Which is why before initiation, we make it very clear, before I am recommending anybody for even shelter for that matter, irrespective of who the guru is, I make sure that I have to practically understand. I visit their house. I look at their, altar. I look at, speak to people at home to understand where they are, because we cannot let anybody who is actually deviating knowingly or unknowingly, we cannot let them get connected to the sampradaya, because we are doing a big disservice. We're doing a big disservice both to the parampara and to the jiva by not correcting the jiva, by not handholding the jiva, training the jiva, right? And letting them do something wrong, which eventually will result in them actually not retaining as much taste in Krishna consciousness as they should have, right? And of course, disservice to the parampara, because by their mercy, we have been given authority to actually allow people to get connected, right? We've been given some positions as a, whatever the positions are. And if we are not doing that, taking up that seriously, we are doing a big disservice, right? So this disciplic succession is very, very, very critical. And unfortunately, I mean, yeah, in all the interactions that I have with so many devotees, I see that mostly it has become like lip service. People want to speculate, so many things. So we have to be very careful. See, simple thing actually we should understand that, as long as we are able to read and follow what Srila Prabhupada has written, if we have questions, we should also refer to what Srila Prabhupada has written in his letters, contextually understand it with what is written in his books, because Prabhupada always said books are the basis, right? He said if there is any conflict between some other form of information or instruction and books, he said books have to be retained. What I've written in the books is absolutely applicable, because when Prabhupada was dealing with so many devotees, so many problems, he might have given some, exceptions, some, and just based on people's situations, etc. But that doesn't mean that that's a universal rule. It cannot become a universal rule. And we have to be very careful by taking one exception and making it a generic rule, right? So which means that for that we have to actually understand. We have to understand Prabhupada's mood, Prabhupada's mission, etc. So it's a very deep thing. It's a very deep thing. So actually, I mean, I want to just share that my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, is writing a book called Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada. And his idea is actually to bring out this mood of Srila Prabhupada. Of course, we cannot deny that different disciples of Srila Prabhupada got different instructions at different times, etc. Right? But that doesn't, those instructions would never be generally, right, would be going against his generic instruction to all disciples, right? It would not be, right, unless we've understood it wrongly, or maybe there are some exceptions there we cannot absolutely rule out, right? But Prabhupada, so the idea is, this has to be known, understood, and then we can make sure that we are actually not uh, not actually just deviating whimsically. Though we should not deviate at all, right? Whimsically meaning I just decide my own practice without actually having heard of it, read of it from either Srila Prabhupada or our previous acharyas or guru, right? And if it is not authentic, then we should not follow it at all. Even if we don't know, then we have to find out, right? So these things are there. This is all very important. Otherwise, we already know one big deviation we are dealing with, right? The trick philosophy, right? So then we will have more in ISKCON and it's just not many years, right? It's very few years still, and we are in a very nascent stage as an institution, ISKCON, and already we are seeing so many deviations, right? So we have to be careful, right? Because we have this responsibility. We have the responsibility of maintaining the parampara as it is. It has been given to us, right? All of us practicing devotees who are actually preaching by our achar prachar, we are also preaching. So we have to be careful. Anyway, so this is how I get stuck with, one word, disciplic succession, and because we have to understand this, otherwise, we can just keep reading these and really not understand it at all. So yeah, so which is heard through the disciplic succession from the Supreme, right? So this paragraph I'll finish and stop. One form of proof is proof by logic, nyaya prasthana. One can get knowledge by logic, arguments, and philosophical research. But another form of proof is shruti, proof established by hearing from authorities. Right, hearing, again, we know how important this hearing is, and unfortunately, again, this is something that devotees are not doing today. Right? Oh, those who hear from Prabhupada, they'll be fired up during this month. They won't be sitting at home, right? Because we know how dear book distribution is. So I request everybody here, and I'm going to keep doing this every now and then. Everybody on this group, right? Please don't do lip service to Prabhupada. Please do real service. Please go distribute books. Something, you can't go and distribute, do Shastradan. You can't you gift books, right? So, today morning, we got some Mataji from Hill Temple, right? So in one of our book distribution, she met our devotees and she had Griha Pravesham, so she called us today. And there were just 3 people, very humble setting somewhere, and they just called saying that please come and do kirtan. And we told her saying that, see, we are distributing these books which are for everybody, which will help people to live a tension-free life. She just said, give me 5 sets. I mean, she was not like calling so many people or anything. She just decided to give 5 sets. She said, I'll give me 1 set and I want another 5 sets. I want to gift it to people. Very humble setting, very humble Mataji lady, right? And then somebody else in their marriage, they're gifting 300 sets. Somebody else is gifting 150 sets. So we are just pushing people to say that, do something. And all these are devotees, right? There are functions in their homes and we are saying, do something. No, you can't go and, okay, I have a function at home. I'm not able to go. Fine, you're spending thousands and lakhs of rupees. Spend some to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Give some mercy. Right, and we are going to other people who are saying, no, I don't know. I said, you have paisa, आपके पास पैसा है, तो 100 रुपए है एक, give this gift, right? Or we are trying to go to government schools, colleges, orphanages, etc. So give us, donate so that we can actually help out those people. They are in need. So do something. I'm saying do something. It doesn't have to be this thing or that thing, right? Because if you're actually hearing from authorities, we cannot sit idly in this month. We cannot. Whoever we are, it doesn't matter, right? Nobody who's serious about Srila Prabhupada, what he's spoken will keep idle in this book marathon, during this book marathon. So I humbly request everybody, please do something. You're at office, you have colleagues, you have business partners, talk to them, tell them saying that, change your life, better gift. There's a New Year gift, Christmas is coming, New Year is coming. Yeah, just do something, I'm sure if you just put your mind to it, Krishna will show you so many ways by which we can distribute this mercy. But we have to do this, right? Otherwise, hearing from Srila Prabhupada, reading Srila Prabhupada's books really doesn't have much meaning if you don't follow what he's saying. And Prabhupada wanted so many times, so explicitly, he's told that we have to distribute books. A little, whatever is possible, I'm not saying this because I'm doing some major book distribution, but at least I want to do this. And I don't want this to become a marathon effort, right? As in, it's not a once in a year business. So all our, the centers, whatever I'm taking care of, we have discussed with all devotees saying that going forward, every month, at least 2 days in a month, grihasthas have to go out for book distribution, right? It'll be a mandate, right? And all of us will go at least 2 days a month, because we cannot just say it's a, once in a year business to distribute Prabhupada's books, right? Otherwise, what will happen rest of the year? We're just doing our own bhakti, right? And Prabhupada always said, right, what is the value of your preaching? Distribute one book, one word can change lives of people, right? And how many people can we actually reach with our preaching? Yeah, 50 people, 100 people, 150 people. That's it, right? I mean, that's all. Of course, there are big empowered preachers in ISKCON who reach thousands of people, but they are only few. But most of us will only reach, single digit or double digit, maximum triple digit, some people. But then if we distribute books, it will go far and wide. That is why it is called Brihad Pradanga, right? So I request everybody to please do something, whatever yatra you are, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. We're all part of Prabhupada's, movement. So we should do something, right? That is the power of hearing from authorities. A third form of proof is Smriti, proof established by statements derived from the Shruti. In Smriti, so just for technical information, Shruti is spoken by the Lord. Shruti never changes. Okay, Shruti doesn't change. Even the verses don't change. Smriti changes. Smriti is given by empowered individuals, so which is given by humans. And Smriti changes kalpa to kalpa. There can be changes in some verses in the Smriti, right? So Bhagavad Gita, Puranas. So that's why sometimes our Acharya say one version of this Purana, this word is there, in another version some other word is there, something like that, right? So some wordings can change in Smriti because it is actually given by empowered jivas. But Shruti doesn't change. The Upanishads are Shruti and the Vedanta is Nyaya. Of these three, the Shruti Prasthan, or the evidence from the Shruti, is especially important. Okay. I'll stop here. Anything anybody wants to say, we can, otherwise we can stop.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, I had a question.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the big deviation that you were talking about was the Hare Krishna moment or not, but so I don't know. I most may be wrong, but I think means one doubt always comes to my mind that before Prabhupada, the disciplic succession was going on, like one acharya after another. So why did it stop? Why did Prabhupada not choose another acharya?
No, it is not like that. It is not like that. See, actually, if we understand it properly, we are just taking the last 5 significant acharyas, last 5, right? I mean, and they made a huge impact on the movement, and their names have been taken, right? It's not that these were the only 5 main devotees, right? And it was not that they were chosen in that sense. In the sense, they did something because of which they automatically became chosen, right?
Okay.
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not, he did not like pick out Srila Prabhupada and said, you are the next Acharya, right? In fact, he's not the next Acharya, right? I mean, because Gaudiya Math, ISKCON is not part of Gaudiya Math in the sense that ISKCON is separate, right? ISKCON and Gaudiya Math both are children of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right? But so Prabhupada was not, he is not the next Acharya in that sense from a Gaudiya Math perspective, right? But he did something which, which revolutionized the whole world, and automatically that can be done only by an empowered acharya, right? So we have to understand, and there are, of course, I mean, it's a very deep topic. Even I might not be completely aware of the nitty-gritties. Once I remember Vidwan Gaurang Prabhu had many years back in our old temple, he came and spoke about who is an acharya, right, and who can actually talk about time, place, circumstance. So very, I mean, he he's Vidwan. So from various scriptures he had quoted. So we have to understand that it's not about nomination. There is no nomination. Bhakti Vinod Thakur did not nominate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur or any of this, right? They are just acharyas because they've given significant contributions to our sampradaya, right? So we should understand this.
Okay, thanks, Prabhuji. I did not know that. This is a new thing that I understood.
Yeah.
There are Hare Krishna,
Yes, sir.
shall I add
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, please, Prabhu. You should not ask at all. You should just say.
No.
Yeah.
One thing is that somebody asked, as you said, books are basis. One point, somebody asked Prabhupada in Australia, some reporter, you, Swamiji, if you will die, then who will take care of this movement? Then Prabhupada said, I will never die.
Correct.
So he was slightly surprised. He said, I will be lead through my books.
Yes, very nice.
So that is important. Prabhupada is speaking us, because he said, whatever I have to give, I have given my books. You follow that one. Perfect. And everything I will preach. That's all.
Yes. Very nice. Our Anukul Prabhu is a big, he's a big pusher of Prabhupada books reading. Right. So every year, Prabhupada appearance day, disappearance day, he doesn't say anything else. He just asks everybody, saying that how many of you have Prabhupada Lilamrita?
But I'm sorry that the numbers are very less always.
नहीं वो ठीक है bro, वो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, as in but the mood is very nice. Yeah.
As we say for Krishna also, if you don't know Krishna, then how you love Krishna? If you don't know about Prabhupada, how you love Prabhupada? Simple matter is it.
Absolutely true. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So very nice. So Prabhupada always said, I always live in my books, right? And I never die. So which is why, we should not only, and Prabhupada said that, of course, the time so much book distribution is happening. Prabhupada used to tell disciples, first you read, have you read the book before distributing? So obviously, if you read the book, then we'll get fired up, saying that, oh my God, I mean, so much of useful information. Let me go and distribute this book to somebody else, right? So we have to read. And if we read, automatically we'll come to the stage where we'll feel, no, I have to give this to somebody. Okay, my sister is there, my brother is there, my uncle is there, my aunt is there, my friends are there. I know all of them. I want their lives to change. I want them to be happy in life. I have to give them these books, right? And it's New Year, it's a good time. It's not expensive at all. We spend thousands of rupees every day without even knowing where it is going. Most of us, right?
And probably if that this Prabhupada books have changed so many lives. If I am correct, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, your Guru Maharaj, he read first Krishna book. Somebody gave him. He purchased in London, and it was lying in his house. And after some time he read, and he became sannyasi actually.
Krishna book, actually he had gone to somebody's house, and that person had Krishna book on his shelf, right, which was not touched at all. And then Maharaj took it, and then he read, and he said, this changed my life. So so powerful.
I'm telling one incident. There are a lot of incidents like there is there.
Yes.
Deeply can Prabhupada change life of Prabhupada books have changed life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another point is that he was talking about Acharya. Acharya is not appointed by anybody actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there are Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, there are so many disciples. There are still their disciple section is going on. They are also preaching, but why Prabhupada became Acharya? Nobody can, even in Bhakti Saraswati Thakur's disciples, nobody was able to expand Krishna movement so much and writing so much literature, changing so many lives.
Yes.
For that purpose, it has become automatically Acharya.
Automatically he's become Acharya. And the potency, right? And when a disciple follows Guru, when a disciple follows the instructions of Guru, then automatically he gets empowered. And Prabhupada simply took up one statement that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had said, and he got so empowered that while so many other of his god brothers and Prabhupada himself, I was not like one of those big guys, big brahmacharis. I was just a grihastha. I was just trying to run my own, business and taking care of my house, etc. But he just had that desire, and his whole life he prepared just to follow that one instruction, saying, go and preach in the West, right? Preach to the English-speaking people. That's all Prabhupada's life was. One statement of Guru.
Prabhupada was so humble. When he used to start to his disciple, he used to cry, okay, you help me to fulfill the desire of my Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
He used to cry actually. You are only instrumental to fulfill desire of my Guru Maharaj.
Really.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry that I disturbed you. Can I in between class?
No, absolutely no, Prabhu. This is not disturbance. This is actually, I literally have tears in my eyes, from what you said. Because actually we don't appreciate Prabhupada. And if you appreciate also, we're not doing really much about it, right? We're just twiddling our thumbs, sitting at home, and it's not service. Right? We have to go do something. I'm just like really begging at all of you, right? Just do something for Prabhupada. Do something, let's make our life useful in Prabhupada service. Let's not sit our whole year we are anyway sitting, right? Doing the same stuff that we've been doing for years, right? At least let's do something different. Let's change somebody's life, right? And of course, we'll get empowered. If you have a sincere desire, Krishna, Guru, Parampara, everybody will empower us to do something. Okay, I'll go on like this whole day, so I'll stop here. Thank you very much for your time. Krishna willing, we'll continue tomorrow. जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो पावनेभ्यो।
हरे कृष्ण,
हरे कृष्ण, धन्यवाद।